My total balance before going to grad school was about $21,000.
I took out about $180,000 between my loans and a Parent Plus loan for my son.
About $28,000.
I actually don't remember the exact amount. Many decades ago, but about the same as Megan. I graduated in 1992.
With finalizing my degree at University of Chicago, I ballooned up to $72,000.
$255,000.
None of my debt has accumulated any interest yet, given the pause.
There was no pandemic pause for me. I worked through the pandemic. I was one of the frontline workers, and so I continued to pay through the pandemic.
So I am a father of 3 children, and even being a full-time salaried employee with the city, I'm basically living paycheck to paycheck. Starting in July, I picked up working part-time on the weekends, sort of just like valeting people's cars. There's been a couple weeks in that 3-4 month span that I've worked 7 days a week, and it's horrible. Just because, I grew up having my parents consistently working. I don't want to have these thoughts of like my kids growing up and like, oh, where was Bubba? He was at work.
Right before the COVID pause, I was paying $560 a month. My new monthly payment is going to be about $1,300. Even though I've been making payments, my balance is going up instead of going down. It's discouraging. It's scary. It's like you have this weight on your shoulders that you just can't get rid of. My older son, who I helped put through school, he feels guilty because, he gives me, a little bit each month towards the student loans, but he can't do that much. And so it's impacting, all of us basically. And I don't want my son to feel guilty for wanting to better himself.
It's been really difficult preparing for what my monthly payments would be and, what I will have to give up to be able to afford them. I don't think I fully understood the weight of student loan debt when I started taking out loans when I was 18. It brought a lot of stress on me and my family.
It's very hard. I was young also when I first took out my loans, and something that you don't consider is that you're not only mortgaging your own future, but possibly the future of your family. It just feels like this cycle now. Her future is mortgaged, and what if she does make the decision to start a family and cannot?
I would like to retire one day. That's my goal, really. I really didn't want to work into my 70s and 80s, and I've heard stories of people who are in their 70s and 80s and are still paying their student loans, and that, that scares the crap out of me. I want to pay my debt as much as I can, but I would like one of these days to enjoy my life and not have to work.
Black women hold the majority of, student loan debt, and due to wage gaps, it's harder to pay it off and it takes longer.
It takes a toll on everything.
There's a lot of anxiety and stress that I may not always externalize, but these are thoughts that I'm just sort of looming consistently over my head.